Welcome all again. Thank you for being here. I'm Kevin Ngo, a third year OU medical student and the co-president of the Asian American Professional Student Association. It is with great honor that I share Dr. Pramod Chetty's story this evening. Pramod Chetty was born in a small rural town of South India to parents who were both medical faculty at the Christian Medical College, Vellore. He attended Bishop Cotton School in Bangalore and then medical school at the institution in which he grew up and graduated in 1981. For the next 2 years, he worked as a junior medical officer in a mission hospital on the Malabar coast of India. In 1983, he immigrated with the rest of his family to the USA and joined the anesthesiology residency at the City of Faith Hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He taught as a board-certified anesthesiologist at the Oral Roberts University College of Medicine until 1989, and then moved to University of Oklahoma Health Sciences Center in 1990. Under the mentorship of the OU-HSC Anesthesia Department Chair, Dr. John Plewis, he rapidly immersed himself into a very busy practice of academic medicine. After the untimely passing of his mentor, Dr. Chetty took on progressive responsibilities in various capacities, culminating in his appointment as the chief anesthesiologist at the University Hospital in 1995. His early exposure to a diversity of academic talent on this campus was due to his completion of the 2-year faculty development program in 1994. The associations and friendships made at that forum still continue to this day. In 1997, Dr. Chetty left the teaching workplace to do private practice in Oklahoma City for a period of 5 years. In 2002, a restless Dr. Chetty was welcomed back into the academic fold of the Department of Anesthesiology by the chair, Dr. Jane Fitch. He was given the mandate to overhaul the educational section of the anesthesiology residency. The didactic curriculum was radically changed, with innovations made in the logistical structure, venue, and content, including video recording of teaching sessions. The clinical rotations and internship at IBMC were reviewed, modified, and strengthened. In 2010, with the residency gaining good standing, Dr. Chetty assumed the program directorship with a now significantly increased complement of residents. Over the past 14 years, the residency has consistently received commendations with no citations by the ACGME and annually successfully matched 12 new residents. In 2011, Dr. Chetty was appointed to Vice Chair for Education, and with the chair's support, was able to assemble a team of physician educators and staff coordinators to not only ensure the success of the residency, but now enrich the medical student rotations in anesthesiology. This entailed revamping all of the MS3 and MS4 rotations in anesthesiology, with encouragement given to the faculty to mentor these nascent medical minds. The Anesthesia Interest Group, or AIG, was given backing and importance by faculty participation, which resulted in its revitalization. The OU AIG was recognized as best in the country for 2 consecutive years due to the leadership of these now empowered medical students. A novel paid externship for medical students to participate in clinical anesthesia situations was instituted, and this continues to be a great success. The OU anesthesiology externship has earned wide recognition, been inquired about, and imitated in many other institutions. Currently, all the anesthesia medical student electives and selective are constantly filled and rated very positively. External learner interest through Visiting Student Application System, or VSAS, is consistently oversubscribed. Dr. Chetty has particularly enjoyed participating in the essential outreach that is accomplished through various programs championed by the Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement in the College of Medicine, such as Spark, Club Scrubs, Road, and Rev Up. As a College of Medicine faculty mentor, Dr. Chetty has served on the Graduate Medical Committee as well as the Medical Education Committee. He has also served on the Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee for many years, including as chair for the last decade. Dr. Chetty has been a member of the Faculty Senate at the Health Sciences Center for 6 years, including as chair in 2012 and 2013, working closely with the then Provost, Dr. Dwayne Andrews. In addition to these local committees, Dr. Chetty has served on national committees for anesthesia educational matters. It was an honor for him to represent OU as an invited visiting speaker on 2 different occasions to Lanzhou, China, the sister city of Oklahoma City. Along his journey, Dr. Chetty has been blessed with mentors and colleagues like Dr. John Plewis, Rainey Williams, Dwayne Andrews, Valerie Williams, John Zubialdi, Vaidi Rao, Meda Yurdikal, Jane Fitch, Andrew Walford, Stephen Heimbach, Inger Eliasson, Amanda Gomez, Casey Windricks, and Christine Vo. The unwavering assistance, kindness, and team devotion of his amazing coworkers, Brent Ross, Linda Murphy, Amanda Lee, Brian Johnson, Carrie Davis, and Brady Watson have made him the luckiest educator alive. Teaching and simultaneously providing medical care are dual privileges that all his learners have afforded him and for which he is in their debt. Last but not least, to his family, especially his dearest parents, his gratitude and love to them for everything given him along his life's journey. At this time, I would like to welcome Dr. Chetty to the podium to say a few words.
I know they're recording this. To get me at a loss of words is not a common thing for those of you who know me. First of all, I want to thank you all for the kind words. I'm really overwhelmed by the feeling of gratitude and humility for me being given this honor. But truly, this honor does not belong to me. It belongs to all the companions who have accompanied me along the journey of my life. Please let me share a little more detail, a little more color in this journey with you to contextualize my emotions of thankfulness to these individuals. I was born way back in 1957 to wonderful, loving parents who were both physician teachers and was raised alongside my sister in an atmosphere of nurturing and unconditional love and support. My parents modeled for us lives of professional excellence and were truly adored by family, friends, colleagues, and their students. This started in me the desire to be a physician teacher, and that was the dream that I had as a young boy. Since we lived in a small village, I was sent off, my sister and me were sent off to Bangalore. It's quite well known in international circles now for the center of excellence it's become. And we were put into the school. It was a wonderful school. I still to this day have memories of what I learned there. And I've put notes here so I would be more eloquent about it. But the true thing that we learned there were the virtues of discipline, honor, and teamwork. And those of you who know me know how important I feel about the concept of being in a team. They were magical days, studying, sports, elocution, dramatics, learning leadership. And the motto that I was told of the school was nex dextrosum, nex sinistrosum, which is Latin for neither to the right, neither to the left, on, straight on. So these, as a young, impressionable mind, put into my spirit for my life that the emphasis would be on getting your path straight, having a journey, having a plan. And there was a lot of emphasis on self-reliance and accountability. In India, we have a system by which you're fairly young when you go to medical school. So at 17, I joined the medical school where my parents taught, where I was born, my sister and myself. And we went back into familiar territory. I was mesmerized by the brilliant teaching of scientists and physicians on that campus. This was done in an environment of charitable work with holistic medicine And the motto of the institution was, let me get this right, not to be ministered unto, but to minister others. And what that means was that if you're going to go into medicine, it really should be about what can you do for the people that you take care of. And these left strong impressions by the example that was set to me by my teachers. And there again, the journey came on for me thinking that this is my identified desire. This is the end point of my journey, to teach. The next step after medical school was that I had a commitment to work in a rural area for 2 years. I was newly married, and the both of us went off to a small mission hospital, very little facility on the west coast of India. I remember when I was going to go there, I told my dad, I can't speak the language. And he said, trust me on this. You will look back on the time that you spent there, and it is going to be one of the most important times of your life. And as always, my dad was right. We worked really hard, but oh, how rewarding it was. Our patients taught us so much, and they rewarded us with affection and humbling gratitude. When we left there 2 years later, they had tears in their eyes that they said farewell to us. But it left an indelible mark on me that by giving the service that is that way, that you're looking after them, they had such gratitude that it taught me that human connections made by these maneuvers can be so powerful to all of us. I never forgot that, never do. And on days when I'm feeling down, I always think about my days at Kotakal. That was the name of the place. So that was over, and now I was going to cross continents. Our family, my father and mother, through great sacrifice, had decided that the family should move to the United States, and of course, we were with them on that. So we moved right across from South India. Guess where we landed up? Tulsa, Oklahoma. The only thing I knew about Oklahoma was the LP with the banner Oklahoma on it. I did hear the music. And here I met the first of my mentors. And if you've mentioned, you've ascribed my trust, my belief in mentorship, I met Betty Grundy. Dr. Grundy was a brilliant neuroanesthesiologist. She was not only a towering figure and a brilliant person, but she taught me so much about the process of education. She taught me that the principles of respect of the adult learner, having consistent accountability of your learner, having high expectations of your learner, and yes, protecting your learner. I will never forget how we felt, my God, you cannot miss anything. She will catch you. She was so sharp, but she was so benevolent in her praise. And she made sure we understood the reason why she said that. Now, having such a mentor at the beginning of my professional career, the urge to teach was even stronger. I was in Tulsa at the City of Faith at ORU Medical School between 83 and 90. And when the school shut down, the itch to teach was going. I had some medical students. I loved teaching them. They were wonderful young people. So I looked for the opportunity to teach. And guess what? I drove up the highway from Tulsa to Oklahoma City, and I met the next mentor in my life, Dr. John Pluis. Now, when I think of John, I get emotional because he just made such an impression on me by his nature, his stature. He was a gentle giant. He towered over me. But when he talked to you, it felt like you're the only person who was there. He recruited me, he supported me, and he encouraged me. And that taught me so many lessons about how you need to treat people who are looking up to you, that you have to constantly reinforce. And I'll never forget John for that. He was a gentleman. I learned how to behave as a gentleman, and I fall short of that, but John really was, and a pillar of strength. His untimely passing devastated me personally. But it was just the memories of what he taught me that kept me in the right track, if you ask me. I was doing some teaching at that time. Those of you, I don't know if anyone here in this room, I know some of my residents from the later 90s were here. it was a time of immense clinical loads. I remember when I was doing the faculty development program, how I would talk to them about my lack of academic time. That was one of the things, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But I knew that that teaching is what kept me here. So the only respite that I had from really brutal clinical hours was going to the faculty development program, and Valerie is right here. Dr. Williams had this novel program, and I am a beneficiary of that. And I stand here as an example of what can happen on a health sciences center when you have these collaborative efforts. I learned so much about all the other brilliant people on this campus. I learned about so many of the disciplines that I didn't know that much about. And by the way, they learned things about us that they didn't know. So this program continues, and I am here to say that that was one of the best things that happened to me as a young academician in this place. Unfortunately, the work, the clinical load, I rapidly ascended, as was mentioned, and at a very young age became the chief at the University Hospital. And I actually knew it was coming, it was a wall, and I left in 1997 to take what I considered an involuntary sabbatical. It's not all that bad, but I was restless, as they said, because the thing that really pushed my buttons, educating, teaching, mentoring, was absent. So here I was driving down to Kentucky to be with my family at Christmas, December of 2001. I get a phone call. And I answer the phone, and it is, those of you who have spoken to Dr. Fitch will know what I mean. There's this bright, animated, young voice. And she called me and said, would you like to come back to the University of Oklahoma and teach in the department? And I said, I was stunned. I didn't actually, I lost my ability to speak, a rare event. But I said, yes, ma'am, I would love to. She said, I hear you like to teach. I said, yes, I do. And she said, okay, come in and let's change the way education is done in our department. Or she gave me the mandate. And I came back, had to tie up some loose ends, and I joined March 1st, 2002. And you've heard it recounted about what the plan was. So the plan was, we have to look at education from the point of view of, why are we on the campus? Why am I here on the OU-HSC campus in the College of Medicine? It's to educate. If not, I should be out there, and I wanted to be here. So when I came in here, and the second time around, we decided we're going to revamp everything. We started with the residency because there were some problems with the accreditation on the residency. In a short period of time, we got that settled. We changed everything. If it was up, we went down. If it's down, we went up. Because we realized that things are not happening the way they should. Education shouldn't be incidental. It should be purposeful. And that's the lesson that we took from that. And we really revamped everything here. And then the thought was, how can we do this without looking at the source of residency, which is all of the medical students on this campus? And we realized that we need attention to that. So as you heard in the description before this, we one by one started looking at the different programs, selectives, electives, the AIG, the externship, skills workshop, simulation, and outreach. Now the outreach, the crew that is here that has helped organize this, some of the people that I enjoy the most to work with, they give us an opportunity to talk to people before medical school. So our educational program right now, we are vested, interested, and wanting to be a part of not only education for the 4 postgraduate years, not only the 4 years of medical school, but we want to go, and I know in the audience here, there are young people who are in 10th grade in high school. And we want to tell them that, yes, you can become physicians, and that we want to empower you to get that feeling. We want medical students to know that we're here to be of help to you, to interest you, not just into anesthesia, but to becoming what I call apex medical providers. You are going to be released into a world where there's a lot of unsettlement into how healthcare is going to be delivered. I'm not going to make this a political platform. All I'm going to tell you is every day that you come as a medical student, you should think about, how can I be that type of physician. And those of you who know me know it is not good enough to be good in medicine, but you have to be good in the compassion that you show your patients, because that makes all the difference. So I've sort of come up to speed as to my journey, starting many, many years ago, and now to the present day here. Having shared my journey, I want to now start thanking the people who made this journey, either made it possible or walked the journey with me. And I'll start where I feel I owe everything to my parents. My parents, some of you may know, have actually met them, the kindest, sweetest, most empowering people. To this day, I miss them dearly, and I know that both of them had a great amount of feeling about the fact that I wanted to teach like them. And in their memory, I always say I should be the best example that they taught me. The rest of my family, my son, Deepak, his wife, Annie, the two little babies at home. That's why he's not here today. My sister and her husband and their child and grandchildren. We're growing. It's a growing family. I'm indebted to them for all the love and affection they've shown me to make me able to do what I'm doing as a teacher. You need, as I tell people who work with me, you need to have the ability to offload the pressure of work. To my friends, some of them in the audience here, I just cannot tell you how life would be worth without having all of you in my life. To my teachers and mentors, you've heard of them, I want to tell you that I'm forever in your debt, and that I hope that in some way I've repaid what you have done for me by living up to the models that you've taught me. Now, this is one of the most important parts of what I want to talk about in thanks, and it's to my team. Sitting right here in front of me, these are people who I've worked with so closely, and it is honestly the most important thing every day when I come to work is I know I have people who share my vision, who have the passion, who have the character to do what is best for our students. And that is what makes me quite emotional. My colleagues, my coordinators, all the staff in our department, you have supported me, assisted me, protected me, and taught me. This is your honor too. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done for me. To all the learners, medical students, residents, and yes, grand residents. I've had the privilege of teaching my residents' kids, and I call them my grand residents. It has been the honor of my life to teach, watch over, and to protect and learn from all of you. To the College of Medicine and to all the various leaders over the past 30+ years, thank you for giving me the opportunity and the privilege to teach. It is truly a privilege to teach others. I don't take it lightly, and I know that others in this room will do the same. As far as the future module occupants, I said, what should I wish for them? I was trying to say something that's encompassing of what I would be, and I came up with this. I wish that you would be able to, 1, learn to be the most prepared physicians. 2, live to be the most compassionate of physicians or healthcare givers. 3, learn to love, agape, philia, your classmates, your mod mates, the people that you are going to work with, the patients you're going to take care of, your family, and have worth to yourself to love yourself, because that's the type of person that ultimately becomes the type of healer or health giver that we want in our society. Just under this awning with these signs right here, I'm a very proud Sooner. And it is the University of Oklahoma ultimately that I owe my allegiance to in my many years of practice here. And I want to remind all of us that we should work and live by the motto, for the benefit of the citizen and the state. That's the translation of the Latin. I know I wasn't born a Sooner, but by golly, I've been forged into one heck of a Sooner right now. Sooner forever. So I want to thank you all for being here and sharing this honor with me. And I intend to still continue my work as I phase into the next stage of my life, but I cannot thank you all for this honor. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chetty, for that wonderful address. At this time, we would like to present the commemorative plaque that will be hung outside of the Pramod Chetty module. Please stay standing. Sorry. Dr. Chetty, we are very honored to have you here with us tonight. Please accept this award for a token of our gratitude and respect. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Your presence is a true representation of your support for OU College of Medicine students and our goals of creating a diverse and inclusive community. Each module we're naming provides us with the opportunity to reflect on those who have come before us and what we hope to accomplish in the future. The Pramod Chetty module specifically will serve as a reminder of what we can achieve with passion, ambition, and dedication. Please join me once again in celebrating Dr. Chetty's attendance and his devotion to our institution and community.